Welcome to Chalkboard Chat. I am Dr. Tara Y. Wren. Today, I have with me Mya Harden, a student who is a member on the MPB Student Council. Today, Mya is going to talk to me about something that's near and dear to her heart, powerlifting. Hi, Mya. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Well, we're going to talk about a heavy topic. No pun intended. So let's just get started by you telling me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Mya Harden. I live in Water Valley, Mississippi. I'm a junior and I attend Water Valley High School.
Great. High school. All right. So my first question is, just tell me, what is powerlifting?
To me, powerlifting is a way that I explain myself. I love it. It gives me a feeling of confidence. But overall, powerlifting is really picking up weight. Practices consist of weightlifting, trying to push yourself, see your limit, and then it all pays off in the end when we have our powerlifting meets. And that's basically one big competition to see who can lift the best, really, who can lift the most, and who can do it in the best form.
So is this powerlifting a team sport? Should I call it a sport?
Yes, ma'am. It is a team sport. At this level, it is. So we compete as 12. By the end of it, we'll have picked out 12 members from the team to go to our competition, our meet. Our biggest meet is going to be our state competition, and it will be held in Jackson.
And how many of those have you been to?
This is my second year, and I have not been to a state meet yet. I'm hoping this year will be my year.
Okay, so you're waiting to get picked.
Yes, I'm waiting to see how the rest of our meets go, and then that'll lead him to who's the best 12.
Okay. Is that best 12 determined by how much weight you can lift?
Yes, it is. It's the coach's pick, but I'm sure that he picks based off of who is the best lifters.
Okay. I know your name's going to get on that roster this year. It's going to get on there. I want to see you lift.
I'm thinking it will.
Okay. I'm going to back up just a little bit and ask you, what made you interested in powerlifting?
When I would watch other people at their meets, I was like, that looks really cool. And they were just picking up all this weight. I was like, I could not do that. So I was talked into it by some of my other friends who were interested. So we all just kind of went and tried out together. It was one big experience.
Okay. I love that word, experience.
Didn't know what we were doing.
I'm sure it was an experience, because when I think of it, I don't think that that's fun. I'm like, ouch, that hurts. Yeah. I'm sure you have a lot of ouches, don't you?
Yes, we do. We do, actually.
So what is required? When you say you and your friends are going to go out and try it out, what was required for you just to even become a part of the team?
What's required is, from a coach's standpoint, do you have the good attitude to do it? Are you willing to work hard? Because if you start out young, if you're one of the younger ones, he's looking to grow with you. If you're one of the older ones, he's kind of like, well, you waited a little too late, because, to gain muscle, it takes a little longer. So the younger ones, he's willing to take them a little easier than the older ones, because he has more time to get them prepared and build their muscles. But for me, when I was coming in, it was required that you at least had to be able to do the basic things like know form, which they taught. So know your form and be able to squat just a little bit to keep you in the range with the other people that you'd be competing against.
So when you say young, how early or what grades can start in your district, and perhaps is this way across the district? You tell me.
6th to 7th grade. I think that's about 13, 14, somewhere in there, in that range.
So pretty early on. So I was doing a little research because this is interesting. I know wrestling isn't the same as powerlifting, but it's all pain inflicted on your body. But I was doing a little research and I saw this YouTube video, and this man was saying that at the bare minimum, without any conditioning, that means you haven't played any other sport. If you just want to come in and do powerlifting, that you need to do some sled drag, some bars and solid repetitions, conditioning, technical work, and all kinds of weights and lots of repetitions, and that takes about 4 to 6 weeks just to get conditioned. That's like the bare minimum. And then he said, go on to training. That's a lot of work.
It is. It is a lot of work, but it's all necessary, and it'll all help you along the way. I know if I didn't condition before, like I had conditioning from other sports, if I didn't do those other sports and I would have just came straight to powerlifting, my body couldn't bear it, because it is pretty strenuous workouts, I will say. And we have got out on the field a couple of times, on the football field, because we work out at the field houses. They're right beside each other, and we've got on that field and we pushed the sledge down the field with weights on it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That is a couple of things that we do, and we work out pretty hard.
Wow.
And You have to practice and you have to work on techniques because you will get hurt if you don't. You have to make sure you're stretching, make sure you know how to do your form because that's one of the biggest things how people get hurt. They don't know their correct form, they don't practice it, and they're just unaware of how much harm they could do.
Well, how much time do you spend a week practicing or
We
conditioning?
practice twice a week. That would be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 until we get done. Sometimes we stayed in the weight room until 8 o'clock and we got school the next morning.
Oh, wow.
But it's taken more seriously during season.
And when is the season?
October, it starts in October.
Wow.
And it's over March, but we still work out after that. We still have the summer workouts in there. I mean, they're just as hard, maybe
Wow.
even worse.
Worse, because you have more time.
Yeah.
You have to go to class. Well, how much can you lift?
We have maxed out pretty lately. So on squat, my max is 275. On bench, my max went down a little bit. I was kind of sad this time because volleyball threw me off. I missed a lot of our powerlifting workouts because of volleyball, but it went down to 125. It was 155. But
Okay.
and my deadlift max went up. It's now 325. And
What is deadlift?
it's where the weight start off on the ground and then you pick them up and you have to fully lock out and
Wow.
stand up with all that weight.
Well, I could just tell you right now, you're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, just with going down, going up, I could probably barely lift 50. Okay. Deadlifts or any other lifts. Wow, that's amazing that you're able to do this, Mya. And how many people are on your team? 12, you say?
It's more than 12. We have to make cuts for that specific 12, though. I say it's about 20.
So are there a lot of girls on the team?
Yes, probably more boys than girls. We all kind of work out together sometimes. We have to. We have to share the weight room a lot of the times. So we're a very tiny school. We're 2A. We're moving down to 2A. So we're 3A now, but we'll be 2A by next year. But yeah, it's a pretty good bit of people on the team.
Okay.
A lot of newer people.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting and good that everybody, it's a diverse sport and everybody's trying their weight out, strengthening their muscles.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, what would you say the greatest benefit of powerlifting is?
Probably learning discipline because through those workouts, you want to stop, you want to quit, but you have to keep going. You have to discipline yourself to do it. You have to discipline on weekends when you're not having practice to try and do stretches, try and work on form, consider what you're eating. But that's very hard around Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's all working together.
I'm sure that is. So maybe just have to do a few more squats and a few more lifts to get that extra Thanksgiving and Christmas pounds off of you. Make the connection for me between powerlifting and being healthy and healthy eating, like you were just saying.
Well, in powerlifting, you have weight classes. So you kind of want to pick and choose or go based off of your weight, which weight class you're going to be in. Now, for me, I've experienced being in 2 different weight classes. I've moved up to another one because I wanted to, actually, because the one that I was in is the 148 weight class. And it's very hard to compete against those girls because that's the average weight, which means a lot of girls are in that weight class and it's hard to compete against them. So moving up for me would give me a better position. I'd place better. It'd be easier to compete against the heavier girls than the girls in the 148. So eating for me, I have to kind of watch what I'm eating because you don't want to not eat and lose a little too much. And also not eating is not a good thing when you're trying to lift weights. You can't eat on an empty stomach with no fuel. That's what a lot of our girls struggle with is they're too scared to eat because they don't want to move up a weight class because they're maybe say they're extremely small. And if they move up, they're scared they're going to have to compete against the heavier girls, which they do lift pretty heavy. So you have to eat. You can't not eat and you can't overeat. So you kind of have to be careful with what you're doing because you don't want to be out of your weight class unless you want to move up like me because of personal benefits like placing first instead of third. You have to kind of play it safe with powerlifting.
Right. So I'm hearing that you have to be disciplined in the act itself of powerlifting and in eating and rest.
That's also another thing that food help with. If you get the right proteins, the right carbs and everything else, the food will help your muscles to regenerate a little quicker.
Right. You're learning a lot about healthy eating and life and all types of discipline and social interactions and everything else that it takes to as you grow up. Right. So it's not just about lifting the weights, is it?
It's not. It's more than that. It's taught me a pretty good bit that I can use in life.
Let's talk about the mental stress of this particular sport. Is there any related to this that you would say?
Yes, some reasons are different for others. Like it can vary depending on who you are, because a lot of people have social anxiety and stress. When we go to these meets, they're so anxious and they're nervous. For me, I don't really have it as bad. I can get nervous when I see that they're putting a lot more weight than I think I can do on the bar because my coaches have just so much faith in me. But it can cause stress. Stress, not only stress mentally, because powerlifting is more of a mental thing. You have to be mentally prepared to go up there and do that weight that you know you can do. Most of the time you pretty much know you can do. But it's also stress on your body sometimes if you're not getting the necessary sleep or food that you need to keep going. You have to keep everything balanced.
A good
So yes, it
balance.
can cause stress mentally and physically.
Exactly. I can see how. I really can. So what are your plans to continue?
To continue, I'd say after I'm out of high school, maybe I can get a scholarship or be on someone's team. But if not, I'll probably just continue working out.
Just to keep the
Yeah.
body in shape.
Yes, because I
Okay.
enjoy it. Probably
Right.
just can find me a gym.
Do you follow any other power lifters like your age or ones that you aspire to be like on YouTube or TikTok? Any of that?
I wouldn't say that I have a specific person, but I love watching videos just to see how everybody else's powerlifting meets go and to learn from lifters who are far more experienced than I am. I guess you could say seniors or elders that are lifting out here too. I love to watch everybody, especially at the meets, the younger ones. I like to be in their corner because I know they're really nervous. It's their first time. So I try and help and give tips, and I pretty much watch everybody.
Where do you go to meets? Where have you been so far?
We've hosted some here at my high school in our elementary. I've been to Bruce and we're going to Lafayette soon. So I haven't been too many places.
Wow, but you've had some experience and this is your second year, as you said, and sounds
Yes,
like you've
ma'am.
grown. And from what I've seen and I've been reading before I talked to you, seems like you could progress in this relatively quickly. I would think it'd take a year. I was thinking it would take me about 5 years to get there, but maybe not.
If you
So
you put in the hours and you go to the workouts like we do and they're as strenuous as they are and you do those, you'll progress pretty quickly.
yeah. Well, and for young people, y'all are strong and you can do all that. And if you have the right mindset, you can do it. Well, I think
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
great. I think it's very commendable, to stretch yourself in
Thank
that
you.
way. So I'm looking for your name to be on that roster. And I have faith in you too that you will get there this year.
Yes, ma'am.
So what did I ask you that you would tell a younger person who's trying to get into this, or not necessarily a younger person, even a peer who wants to become a power lifter in high school or even middle school? What would you tell them?
I would say it's going to take dedication. It's going to be hard. You're going to want to quit, and you might not always make it. That's a big thing that a lot of people have to learn. And that was something that was big for me. You might not always do your best at your meets, and you feel like you put in all this work and you feel like it's going to waste. But if you keep pushing and you keep working and you outwork those other girls and boys, then I think you'll do just fine. Don't be nervous either, and make sure you eat the right things.
There you go. Not a lot of turkey and dressing. Well, it has been fun talking to you, Mya. I have learned a lot in just this few minutes, and the whole purpose of talking to you is to share with your peers and others who might be thinking of going into powerlifting, doing what you like to do. And so it has been absolutely enlightening to talk to you about powerlifting. As you have shared, it takes power, endurance, healthy eating, and discipline to do the sport of powerlifting. And you have to be dedicated, disciplined, hardworking, and you have to have a good attitude. So it's not all about the weight, the number. It's about your inner self as well, and being a good student and a good steward of your body, your health, and your friendships. So thank you for sharing these tips and letting others know just what it takes to be a very good power lifter. And good luck. Thank you, Mya.
Thank you.
Well, this is Tara Wren with Chalkboard Chat. Class is now dismissed.